Okay, well, hello, back again on my channel. In this video I'm going to be repairing some tools. Probably do one at a time, well, video for each one at a time. I have no idea what's wrong with these. The first one being a hedge trimmer. Let's just move that out of the way for a minute. They've been given to me to assess, to find out if they're worth saving or even worth keeping. For a start, something does not feel right. This little device here is a safety device, or an operator presence switch, if you want to call it that, and you have to keep that up for it to run, even if you have to even if the trigger is pressed. The minute you let that go, or you let the trigger go, it stops working. So the trigger appears to be working. Let me just move you out a little bit. But the trigger's working, but there is definitely something amiss with that. So I think I better do this cable first. There we go. I think we found the right one. So let's undo that for a minute. As far as that, are they all going through? Whoa, okay. Oh, springs. Here we go. Nothing like a spring. Lovely. Fortunately, I found where it goes, which I'm pleased about, I must say. Okay. Right, now, what is the object of this? It doesn't appear to be attached to anything. I am mystified a moment, and what's going on? Right, let's put over out of the back. I found a screw hidden under a load of crap. Is usually the case. So now, aha! Here we go. Here we go. course all the wires have been hot glued in, which is very useful. Well, what can I do to, okay, put on there, put on there, so look here, right, okay, so you've got brushes and here. Alright. I don't really want to disturb the brush section of it if I can avoid it really. Okay. Alright, well at least I can get this next bit out I think now. And I've lifted that out of the way. Right, so this obviously is meant to operate this pulley and it's not. And not only that, it is screwed together so I can possibly find out what's going on. Okay. Right then. Ooh, that's what's happened. Yeah, you see that gap there? That's where this is meant to go. It has snapped clean off. Why don't they make these parts more manually? Why do they do that? I will never understand manufacturers when they do stuff like that. It's just not logical. It really isn't. Mind you, I suppose they want to sell more stuff, don't they? But they're not bothered if it breaks down. Trouble is, can I get that out of there? Oh, it's one of them things, isn't it? Right, okay. So, you can see that. It has snapped. Where am I? It has snapped clean off. Now, ideally, to repair this properly, I could really do with getting that out of there. Right, it's time to bring it in. Auxiliaries. Get that in there. Okay. Get that out of there. Right. It's not going to come out of there, is it, very easily? I don't want to keep moving this cable about because I might weaken it. And that'll be the next thing to break. Right, I think first thing that's got to happen is got to repair this. So that has got to go back in there like that. And I can hear everybody shouting now, yeah, just a top bit of super glue on it, that'll sort it out. Well, there is that, but why doesn't it feel like it's fitting properly? That's because it was the wrong way around, that's why. Right. Okay, that's... They are perfect. Fixed. Right, okay. Get a bit of white spirit and clean all the oil and grease up for that. We'll do that. With some white spirit. A bit more light on the subject actually. Let's bring a bit more light up, I think. There you go. Right. Okay. Clean all the crap off of there. Because these, most plastics tend to have oil. Sort of an oil on the outside of them, and this will stop super glue working. No matter how good your super glue is, it will not work if there is oil on the actual plastic itself. You've got no chance of it sticking. I'm hoping I've got enough room to be able to strengthen this bit up so it doesn't break again. Because that would be good if I could do that. So, let's try that a little bit more. Okay, make sure the ends are... Obviously you don't want to start filing the ends or anything like that, because then the fit won't be as good. You want the fit to be exactly as it broke. You can sort out the strengthening a bit afterwards, but we want to get the main part back together as is. Yeah. Right, so that, yeah, that drops in lovely. Absolutely. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to try and strengthen it along here. But I need to see whether it's going to interfere with anything. But first things first, I should be able to get a bit of super glue and put this back together first. The old cheap Poundland. Excellent stuff. You couldn't get a stronger glue, I tell you. Well, not as far as super glue is concerned. This is excellent glue, I tell you. You get three of these for £1. It's great for gluing using plastic, wood, believe it or not. And it doesn't take long to set. Obviously it takes a while to get to full strength, but all glues do that anyway. This is full strength only after 24 hours. But Got that little hat cap on there. Never dries out unless you leave the cap off. Anything else going anywhere? But definitely got to sharpen that up, strengthen it up. So let's see if I can do that small thing. Just let me inspect the bits of the handle. Oh, that would have done it good, wouldn't it? Well, still together. So the repair worked. So it looks like it runs just in there like that. Really? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Is that how it works? Like that? Wow. Okay. Right, so yeah, I mean it's the spring is right on the point where it's broken. So I can see why it's broken. What's happened is it's broken here, it's cracked there, and then where the operator's been operating it, it's then put stress on this point here, and it's just carried on until it broke. It probably worked for a while. Probably absolutely worked for a while. Interesting though. I wonder how the hell that relates to the rest of it. I literally just get it fits in there by the look of it. Okay. Right. Yep. So you can either pull it from side to side or top. So that appears to be the way it works. So there is absolutely a ton of strength here. Now why did they thin that down like that when you've got all this room here? It's built in there. It's built in to fail. Absolutely. Well bad. Well bad. This is the way the country is going. So that's probably made in Japan or something, I bet. But everything, yeah, is totally made to fail. Crazy, isn't it? Yeah, while that's setting, we'll let it set a little bit more. I'll show you something. Now, see this? This is a Rockwell jigsaw. Okay, this came as a 3-part kit. My wife bought it for me when we first got together, and it came as a kit. Came as an orbital sander and a battery drill, 12-volt drill, and this. The battery drill eventually failed because the battery failed, but the battery drill itself was fine. I just couldn't get another battery for it. And the orbital sander I've still got in my large shed. This is 38 years old and it still works perfectly. Okay, yeah, the cable's got a bit naff now and I've had to sort out the rubber out, you know, it's the usual thing that breaks. Where is it? My son has left it outside in the rain, all sorts. Got variable speed, still works, all of it. 38 years old, cost her 40 odd quid. a fairly reasonable amount of money at that time because we didn't have a lot of money then. Still not as expensive as a DeWalt or something like that, which are constantly breaking down. This thing has made dozens of speakers, cabinets, tables, you name it, I've done it with it. Yeah. I don't make stuff like that anymore. I just occasionally take it apart, give all the bit of a grease up. Yeah. That's the way of the world, I'm afraid. There you go. Right, what I'm going to do is I've got some ties. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to super glue 4 of them. Well, cut it down and put in 4 pieces, and that will give that some super strength. But before I do that, I need to get that crap out of there. The key to these sort of repairs is to rough up the surface, because then the glue will sit in there good. That is the key to all these types of repairs. With plastic, you always need to score it up with a Stanley knife or something like that. Otherwise the glue will not work. As I say, as I've said before, a lot of the glues on a lot of the plastics have like an oil on the surface. So you have to make sure you get that oil off. So strengthen that up. Right, what I need to do is cut bits to length. So, get to my cutter. From here. Also, it will help to do the same to these, because these are quite smooth as well. I'm going to roughen them up as well. Come out of the flame. Try not to rub it with your fingers, because you're just putting oil back on it again. Alright, so and it's a bit difficult when you're handling it not to get oil on it, but right, let's measure that out. I want that to hop in there nicely. One, these 2 identical ones. Like so. And what we'll do is we'll put one there. and we'll put on the other side. Now obviously if I try and do this without super gluing yourself as well, because you're not super glued on the skin, it really does bond. You very well know. Anybody who's used super glue will know that. I've bonded myself to super glue many a times. Come on. Yep. One over there, one over there. Just hope it hasn't squished out. Otherwise this is going to be a very embarrassing video. I'm telling anybody to watch themselves. And I'll get myself stuck to it. No, I think it's gone alright. Getting a bit windy outside. The wind's getting up. I'm going to give that a minute to set. Alright, and then I should be back. Okay. Okay, right, the first strips that I've done have gone off quite nicely. So I'm now going to carry on and do the other two parts, 4 parts rather. As soon as I can lay my hands on my glue, if I need a new one off. Get it out of the way. So, I'll do these two, huh? One. Okay. Right, I'm going to let those set and then we'll do the next bit. I should be back in a moment. Okay, right, I've done all the reinforcing along here, if you can see that clearly, and I've also reinforced the other side and here, just where it was cracked here, so split there and it broke the other side as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some strips, one down each side. I'm going to give us a little bit more of a rub down, which I've been doing with a file. I'll probably sand it a little bit. So you can see that. So I'm going to sand that down a little bit more, and then I'm going to start putting some side bits on to give it a little bit more strength. And then it should not break again, hopefully. Highly unlikely it'll be twice as strong than it was when it was first made, so. Right, I'm just going to sand that a little bit. I'll give this a bit of a sand down. Evenly. And the other side. Squeeze them together for a minute. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in the vise. Once I've unhooked it all. And then let that set. Okay, just let my soldering iron warm up a bit, and we'll solder those joints, and I'll show you what I'm going to do next. So I shall be back in a second or two, or one even. Okay, right, it's warmed up a bit. Right, I've got a bit of flux here. Just clean the tip, it won't hurt. Let's get tin the actual iron itself. Okay. Let's see if we can get these in here. Bit of dip them in there a bit. So that's probably easier. So at this point it's worth giving this gear wheel some grease, and I will find a screwdriver to get some grease. It's also worth oiling the blades. People always make the mistake and don't oil the blades. And they also don't keep the nuts that hold the blades together, not tight, but so that the blades can't part, because a lot of the times people let these become loose and then the blades twist and they start chunking into each other. Also keep away from barbed wire fences and stuff like that, because that does a lot of damage to blades. That'll write a blade off in 2 minutes flat. So now this should be the fun bit. Reassembly. This bit's always fun. Right. Okay, all the connections are good here, not going anywhere. Right, okay, now it should be here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Let's see. Right. Okay. Now, if I remember rightly, yeah, that went underneath the motor, didn't it? So, we'll have to lift that motor up again. Better to do it the other way, I think. This is where the fun begins, folks. This is where the fun begins. Trying to get it all back. Come on. I'm trying not to disturb the wiring too much so I can avoid it. Now, how the hell did this go? And right there, it comes up there. Oh yeah. Well, I don't want to screw the motor down yet because I'll make sure I get it in the right place first. Okay. No, I don't think I've quite got that right, you know. Okay. Yes, I think it's more like that. I believe that's how it goes. Now, if I remember rightly, this bit goes in half. Right, okay. Yeah. I think that's how it goes. And you've got a spring, which fits in somewhere. Where's the spring fit into? You can guarantee it'll fit in the top bit at the moment. Okay. Maybe not. Wait a minute. Ah, that's where it goes. Yeah. That's the trouble. When springs spring out and you don't actually see where they came from, yeah, that can be a bit dicey, to say the least. Now, this other bit's also got to go in. Well, after some messing around, I realise I've also got to get the spring back in this bit. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. Now, if that sits down in there, and then wow, okay. I think that goes in there like that. It's like that. That's what it appears to be, anyway. Huh. Oh, hallelujah. Get in there. Now, that seems to work. Yeah. No, that won't help. A little screw hole. Right, now, can't remember which one it goes in. I'm pretty certain it's that way. Right, it slides down. Right, okay, I think first of all I'm going to screw the motor back in. And screw that back in where it should be. And screw that down over here. Right, that's the motor back in. Okay, so now this should be the interesting bit. Okay, right. I suddenly realised that the modification that I made did cause a bit of a problem. Where I put the extra material on both sides was a little bit too much, so I've just had to shave it down. And now it seems to be operating okay. I should have checked that in the first place before I tried to assemble it. Never mind. These things I seem to try. That they will. Right, now, hopefully, okay, right, the guard is back on. Now I've yet to give the blades a bit of a loo blow, but before I do that, I want to see if it actually works. I've still no idea actually if it works or not, but we'll soon find out, won't we? Really? Okay. In theory, it shouldn't work until I pull the other trigger in. As I said before, it's like a presence, what I call a presence handle, dead man's handle, whatever you call it, whatever. So, right, okay. No problem. Fuse is gone. So, try again, shall we? Right. Excellent. All good. Okay. That won't work without that pressed in. That's it. Marvellous. Alright, give these blades a bit of a clean up, and I think we're about there. I'll give them a bit of a clean up. Plug it first. Okay, so it's all ready to go. This will do that job. Now I must admit that was a bit of a interesting one to try and get back together again, but it's working now, is the main thing, so all good. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, please give a like, and if not already, please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget, electricity kills, so don't mess around with one of these unless you know what you're doing. Alright, that goes with any electrical item, alright, for your own safety. So unless you're absolutely sure what you're doing, please do not attempt to mess around with these electrical parts inside machines. Okay, till next time, take care, bye.